How's it going, everybody? I'm Nick Adams from the Nick of Time podcast. Currently, this channel is going through a revamp and making improvements for a better experience for the listener. So, if it's your first time listening or you've been a listener in the past, I just want to say thank you so much. Your support doesn't go unnoticed, and there is more good things to come, especially in this next episode. So, we'll see y'all. You can go. So, I'm like, okay, cool. So next day, Wednesday, I get in the truck and I drive down to Austin. Or no, that night after the call, I hit up the circle chat because I wasn't in the IG chat yet, and I was like, anybody looking for a room? Blah blah blah. Brennick hits me back. He's the only one,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, man. He was like, I honestly wasn't gonna go, but I seen your message, so
Meant to be, bro.
There he is, bro. Yeah. I don't know if I told Jack that story. I was telling him, I was like, dude, if that doesn't happen, I don't even know if like things play out the way they played out. I guess you could say.
I have a similar story because I wasn't like I never go on circle. I gotta do a better job with that. But like basically I had Jocelyn and Adam stay with me Wednesday night, and then Luke stay with me Thursday night. So I would have just been the host to everybody. I didn't care. Like I had an Airbnb to myself. I was just chilling.
I know. I was telling Nick. I don't know if he told you guys or not either, but I almost didn't even have a camera going out there.
What?
Wait,
Literally
what?
2 days. Yeah, 2 days before the trip,
What?
my camera broke. Yeah. So 2 days before my trip, my camera broke, and I was like, damn, like I can't go out there with no camera. So on the way to the airport, I went and bought a whole new camera.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I almost didn't go out there with any content or make any content or anything.
That would be insane. And considering all the opportunities and things like that, like since then,
Yeah.
we're literally, guys, we're going to Zion next weekend. We just decided to like
Yeah.
shoot content for my retreat.
Huge content days.
No freaking way. What?
I'm literally flying out next Friday. I'm meeting him and we're doing content for like 2 days.
That is insane. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy.
Brennick's the
What
man.
a time. Well, it's about that time. I know Luke said he's gonna be a little bit late, but definitely we're gonna get him in here for sure. So, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Nick of Time podcast. We have a very, very special one for you guys. We're going to talk about a BPN Ambassador Weekend, Austin Marathon, and just an experience of a lifetime that I think for a lot of us, especially the guests I have with us, is life-changing. So we're going to start with a little short introductions. Jack, if you want to tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, all that good jazz.
All right, so I'm from South Jersey. I do a little bit of everything when it comes to fitness. I'm a full-time firefighter. I have my own personal training gym and my little TikTok series training, Be the Fittest Man in the World. It's a work in progress.
Oh, that's awesome. We love to hear it. Cam. Oh, Cam.
What's
Talk
up?
to me.
How's it going? Thanks for having me, Nick. So I live in Orange County, California, currently attending school at USC in Los Angeles. I'm getting my master's in accounting here, and I played all 4 years of undergrad college basketball at a Division III school called Cal Lutheran. And now that I'm at USC, I have the incredible opportunity to be the team manager for a women's basketball team. So we're in the thick of it right now. Came off a huge win yesterday, and we're headed to Vegas this week for the Pac-12 tournament. So it's almost March, and it's an exciting time for sure.
March Madness. Let's go. That's one of my favorite times of the year. I love that. Big B, Brennick. Talk to me.
Hey, so I'm originally from Cali, Northern Cali, so Sacramento, California. But I'm living in Utah now. I just moved out here a couple months ago. Absolutely loving it. I'm an online personal trainer. I did in-person training for about 5 years. Absolutely loved it. But once I moved up to Utah, I switched almost all my clients to online, and that's what I do now. And I'm a content creator. So yeah.
One of the best out, by the way, for sure. And last but not least, Amanda. Talk to me.
Hello. I'm Amanda. I'm from Philly, Pennsylvania. I do a little bit of everything. So some training, life coaching, breathwork instructing, and so forth. But I'd say, who am I? I am a lover of life and adventure and child of God. So yeah, that's pretty much
I
it.
love that. I love that. And then obviously we're missing a few people that couldn't be here today. And there's so many other ambassadors that down the line we're gonna meet or that we've met that are gonna be on the podcast and whatnot. It's just so hard to get so many people. One, free time in the same day. And then secondly, obviously, through Zoom calls, it can be very difficult. But I want to talk about this experience and just basically go into what the Bear Performance Nutrition culture is and how this Ambassador Weekend really just, I guess, surfaced and probably exceeded all of our expectations. So the first person I'd like to start with is Amanda. I already got you on the line. Talk to me about what this weekend meant, or this past weekend, not this past weekend, but you know what I mean. The Ambassador Weekend meant to you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. So for me, I guess primarily, I just got in to be a BPN ambassador about a month ago. So I just applied a month ago for the first time. I'd been following Nick Barron and all of the, BPN subs accounts and everything like that for a while, but I never applied and never really thought about applying for brand partnerships or anything like that until this January. So I didn't even know I was going to be there, let alone, I ended up booking a flight, I want to say 2 weeks prior, because all my friends were like, you have to come, you have to come. And so it's just that in itself was the craziest part. Austin I have a home, like Austin is home to me, feels like home to me. I've been there many times. And for some reason, I just keep getting dragged back there. So the fact that I got in, my friends were like, let's go, let's do it. And just to be there with everyone, so many inspiring people, was life-changing. So for me, go on more and so forth, prove yourself right. It means so much to me. It's more than just, doing one more rep and so forth. It's more of like, go the extra mile for me. So like, do the things that people don't necessarily want to do, talk to the homeless man that's sitting on the street for, an hour and help him out and be there for a client that wants to hike. I wrote this in my application. I had a client that was on an injury for 6 months and threw his back out. He was 85 years old, and he wanted to hike, rehabilitate and hike Patagonia within 2 months. And so day in and day out, I was there, sleepless nights because I was driving back and forth from South Jersey to here to be there for him. It's about doing that for other people. So just to be able to come into a weekend like this past weekend and see so many people believing that exact mission was just so inspiring and so cool. And to see everyone's individual reasons of what go on more and prove yourself right really means to them. So that was just an amazing time.
Thank you for sharing. That means a lot. And well said. Couldn't have been said any better. Jack, I want to go to you next, man, because you're definitely, the fittest of the fit. You've done a lot of great accomplishments over the past Ambassador Weekend. You're definitely somebody that a lot of people look up to and provide a lot of inspiration, man. I wanted to ask you, what for you, and we kind of mentioned this before we started recording, like, was the most shocking thing as far as what you thought prior to the weekend and then going into the week/weekend?
I'm so glad that you're asking this again. Like I said, we were just talking about this, but every time you get a new job or you start school or you start any like community type based thing, it's always, oh, we're one big happy family. It's like, and you just roll your eyes and you're like, yeah, okay, dude. And like, when we all started up with BPN, Austin was saying that to us, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of whole faith in this social media thing. As far as building like genuine friendships and relationships and stuff like that. And then I got to Austin and every single person was 10 times the person I thought they were going to be. They were amazing. I like had honest, like great conversation, almost every single person there. And I could not believe that I was actually building friendships and relationships with people that I'd never even met in person before. It blew my mind because I'm kind of just like I don't know, like a realist or whatever you want to call it. But just the genuine connections I had with every single person, it really blew my mind.
Yeah, man. Thank you for answering that. And then the smiles too, right? I think the smiles were a crazy difference because I remember me and Brennick walked in day one or Thursday for us, right? Tier four, day one. We walked in after we got our bags, and then I look at Luke and I kind of like say, "What's up?" And then I'm like, Brennick, do you want to go like sit towards the front? Because he was sitting in the back. And by the
Mhm.
way, can't wait for Luke to hop on this call. I hope he does. Um, love that guy. But me and Brennick walked to the front, and then Luke is like, "Hey, do you mind if I join y'all?" And then we all sit up there, and then you show up, and then before you know it, it's like, dang, we've known each other like our whole lives, but we actually haven't, you know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, so next person, Miss Cam.
Mm.
Miss Cam, you are a sunshine of the entire weekend. Literally, you were always hyping everybody up. There was not a time where I didn't see you hyping somebody up. What for you this weekend would you say was the biggest highlight that stood out the most to you?
Yeah, no, it's hard to just pinpoint one special thing. This whole weekend was just incredible, and I was just living on a high the whole weekend. And I think the biggest thing for me though was just the fact that we finally got to meet people in person for the first. I've connected with online for the last two plus years. I've there's been a couple ambassadors in the program that I've talked to, and from the very beginning when they joined, and now they're moving up the ladder or whatever. And so it's just one of those things where when you meet someone in person for the first time, it felt like we were just friends for life, and we had known each other for so long. And I'll never forget the first day when all the girls showed up to the Thursday event in the morning, and I see Grace and I just embrace her and we just have the biggest hug. And it was just such a surreal moment because I remember like we've been, talking for such a long time. So just the connections to meet people in person for the first time was surreal and something I'll never forget. And being able to share workouts with each other and just to do what all makes us so happy and what we love to do. And just to be in that space together and create those moments is unreal and something I'll never forget. So it was special.
Yeah, for sure. It was super raw in nature. I feel like, and when I say raw, I just mean like organic. Everyone was just being themselves. Nobody was trying to be anybody else other than themselves. And I think that's why it was so magical. On to my boy Brennick, the man with the plan, dude, the cameraman. For you, man, what would you say this weekend provided for you? You can answer that however you see fit, but what did this weekend provide for you?
Man, this weekend provided me some vision for sure. One, because we were actually talking about it too, is I think we all needed that weekend. I in my own content, in my own world, like I wasn't feeling down, but I was feeling like, damn, I'm spending all this time making these videos and they're not really getting pushed out too much. I'm not getting too much feedback and stuff. And then after that first video, hearing and feeling that feedback from every single one of the teammates on there, it made it all worth it. And then the second day, the same exact thing. And so it's just, for me, it definitely made me gain that confidence back to keep doing what I'm doing and keep working on my craft and just keep growing. And yeah, the whole team, man, like kind of like Jack was saying, like I wasn't expecting that weekend to be like that. I was expecting it to be like we all go, have a good time, and then we leave. I wasn't expecting to make some like really good friendships, and that's what we did, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and just this is kind of for all you guys, and whoever wants to respond can respond. It's not really a question; it's more of a statement. But I don't know how many people I told this throughout the whole weekend, but I definitely was talking to Austin about this. I said, for me personally, being in the military, like I was like a military cop. Now I'm like a safety man, which I kind of like work by myself. And I've been to a lot of different places overseas and stuff, and it's real tight knit overseas. But when you're stateside, people kind of do their own thing. And I'm not like, I wasn't a military cop anymore, so like I didn't have like a team. So for a very long time, especially during Ironman prep, like it's very isolating, which Nick Bear talks about it, and that can be good to an extent. But to be honest, like it was very lonely at times. But the grind just kept me going, so I was always focused. And what this weekend did for me personally is it provided like a social pillar where I didn't feel crazy anymore, you know? And that was like life changing for me in all aspects. As I see people getting after it, you know, Jack running 3 hour, you know, marathons and then going on to power lift, you know, 7 days later. Cam doing what she does, like Amanda doing, like everybody just being
I'm on the call, sorry.
on one was amazing. And I just thank you guys for that. I don't know if y'all have any comments, but yeah, I appreciate y'all. Y'all are like the realest.
So are you. We learned how to two-step this weekend too. Can't leave that part out.
Yeah, that you are the legend for teaching me how to two-step. That was awesome. Like you said, I mean, like we become family for life, and it took 2 days to do that. It goes to show the community of this BPN family and the go in more mindset. Like the fact that we all have that similar mentality, it connected us in ways that I can't even explain. Like coming back home, talking about it with friends, you're just going, you're trying to explain yourself, but like you really can't because no one understands it unless you were actually there and got to witness it firsthand. So it's just special, and I already can't wait for the next one. Hopefully we'll have another one at the end of the year. I don't know.
I was gonna say, so Cam definitely had it. I know I had it. Did anybody else? I'll leave this open for the floor. Did anybody else like have struggles with trying to explain like how good their weekend is and how like the culture in the community? Because I'll give you a prime example. My mom called me because she's not in the same town where I'm stationed, right? And she was like, "Hey, how was your weekend?" I was like, "Good." I was like, "It was like good." And then she was like, "Just good?" And I was like, "No, I'm not gonna lie. It was probably like one of the best weekends of my life."
It really was. It really was.
Yeah.
Like I've had the same like 10 like best friends, like half of them from grade school, half of them from high school. I have a lot of good other friends since then, but like these are like real life like bonds, and it doesn't make any sense to me, but I appreciate it, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, like lifetime relationships that we made over just 72 hours. Like that's crazy. That's nuts. I feel like we're all going to be in contact through social media and stuff, but I hope we keep on having meetings and weekends like that, because if we do, man, our relationships are just gonna keep skyrocketing. So I'm ready for it.
We should do a call like this group of people once a week, pick a day,
Yes.
and just like everyone has to come with like something they want to do that week or something we can hold them accountable to, and just like keep this community, this mini community, and obviously the bigger, larger one going, and like
Yes.
it's
I
crushing.
love that.
Well, I think I brought up Brennick knows this. This was before the actual ambassador weekend. So obviously, like you said, like getting to meet everybody's different when you meet somebody. But I had brought up to Lewis, and hopefully, you know, down the line the team can do something like this. And I was like, the best thing I think that we could do as ambassadors, do like small groups, almost like, you know, how some churches do small groups and whatnot. And I think the reason why that'd be so powerful is because one, BPN was built on a small group. You know, the leadership team, like it was literally, you know, out of Nick's dorm, and they built what BPN is now. And then secondly, in Circle and all these other apps, like it kind of is already, you know, there's people doing certain trainings and stuff like that. And then on Tuesdays, and then obviously ambassador weekends and stuff, we all come together just, you know, as family again, you know, like a single parent small group or a marriage small group, you know, they're already doing the all girls, you know, all boys stuff. I think down the line, small groups would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be awesome.
But yeah, sorry guys, I'm on the fly, you know. I feel like I'm a pretty good host, so I'm trying to do my best. Yeah. I was gonna take notes, you know, and I was like, yeah, let me maybe send them something, but I was like, no. I was like, because we already like have such like good connections with everybody. I said it's just gonna flow and this is gonna be free. Let's talk about race day. I think race day was pretty crazy for everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jack about this because before we start recording, and nobody like did a taper. Nobody tapered for a race. Everyone was just balls to the wall. And then
Full
Sunday, let's go run.
It was insane.
Yeah. Amanda, talk to me about that. Talk to me about that experience real quick.
Well, I have like a shoulder problem now, so I don't know if I'm the best example. But we did not taper at all. Like when I tell you, I came into this weekend thinking, oh, we're gonna do, some good workouts, it'll be a good time. Let's just start with like, I was not signed up for race day either. On top of the fact that it wasn't supposed to be in Austin, I get in on Thursday and everyone's like, yeah, so you're running the half marathon. I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, we're signing up right now. I'm like, okay, I'm running the half marathon. So then I have to get my mindset on that, right? On top of doing all these hard ass workouts and not wanting to be the one that's not doing, kicking ass. So my competitive side comes out. So obviously I'm going to try to beat Cam in the push-ups. No shot I did. nearly tore my shoulder off. My shoulder went numb during that final 800-meter run. I look over at Cam and I'm like, Cam, I can't feel my shoulder after those burpees. Something's up. And she's like, oh, we're good. And then we get back in and we have to do whatever amount of push-ups. I look at Cam, I go, I'm not doing them. My shoulder's like going to be, she goes, no, you're doing them. Drop and give me and I'm like, all right, here we go. So yeah, we did not taper at all. And then the next day, everyone's getting up at like 9 a.m. or whatever it was, like 6 a.m. And then working out the day before, shooting like 1,000,001 like deadlifts. And I was just like,
yeah,
you all blow my mind. You're all amazing. And I'm so proud of everyone here because wow, there's nothing. There was no taper. There was no chill. Like we just crushed it.
So funny story. I'm gonna dish off to Jack, but before I do that, Brennick knows this. Cam, you know how we did those bicep curls for that little quick arm workout we were doing when we had the vest on?
Yeah.
Yo, so tell me why I'm running this marathon. And Brennick knows this because we stay in the same hotel. I literally couldn't straighten my arms because I'm in an Ironman prep. I've only like deadlifted, squatted, like the core, like foundation movements, I hadn't done any arms. So we were doing that for like, for just like, I seen you doing it. So I was like, we're going to do an arm workout. Literally, I'm running like this the entire marathon. And it was like, I was trying to grab water and like, I could only I was running up on people because I couldn't extend my arms out. It was the worst. It was the absolute worst, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
All right. So the days leading up to the marathon completely sum up the BPN community, in my opinion. So Wednesday I get in and, hard workouts with Adam Klink. And then after we do the CrossFit workout, we decide 225 rep challenge on bench. And then Thursday comes in and this young 20-year-old stud, Luke comes in and like becomes my little brother. And then he's like deadlifting 600 pounds. And I'm a couple days out from the race. And I'm like, well, I got to at least pull something decent. So I'm deadlifting days out from the marathon. And then Friday, I'm like, all right, Jack, you got to take it a little easy. I'm like, say less. So I lift, nice, easy lift. And then bam, push-up contest. And we're at like 120 push-ups, down, up. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? And then Saturday, still workout. But the whole point is, like, whenever anybody's doing anything, like, in the BPN community, it's like somebody's doing an Ironman this day, somebody's doing an ultra this day, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. So there's that constant motivation at all times. And that's what it was in person. And that's what it is in social media. Like, you're so motivated to just do something crazy, do something like just work at everything. And it was the same in person as it is via social media.
No, for sure, man. That was the perfect way to sum it up. I think that when it comes to working out and everybody like lifting each other up, it's just what it is. And then that fire just keeps growing and growing and growing. And who knows, a year from now, how even crazier it's going to be.
Let's talk about you freaking deciding mid-race to run a full marathon.
Yeah.
I didn't hear more.
How did this happen?
Dude, I was running with them for, I don't know, the first maybe
Like
9,
4
10
miles.
miles around there. And then all of a sudden, like another group of BPN people come and then they're talking and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go run a full marathon. I was like, good luck, brother. I ain't running that.
So I told Jack this story just before we started recording. So this is what happened. So Thursday, was it Thursday? No, Friday. I signed up for the half marathon on Friday. I originally wasn't gonna run at all because my hamstring was tweaking during this Ironman prep, right? So I was like, Nick, I said, if you do end up working out, whatever, you don't like save it for the workouts we do at the gym, at BPN headquarters with them.
Yeah, right.
I was like, no way. If I'm gonna go hard, I'm going hard there. I said, the race is the race. Everyone's not doing the race. Don't worry about it. And then we go hard in the gym and everyone's, doing their thing. And I'm like, I'm running. But I didn't decide that till Friday night. So I go online and the full marathon's booked. So I was like, I'll just do the half. So I signed up for the half. And I'm mid-race and me and Brennick, I think it was we were at like mile 6 or so, something like that. It was like 5 or 6.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah. And Austin, Lauren, and a bunch of the BPN group like come up behind us. And they're like, hey, blah, 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 and being loud. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm at like a chill pace. And I told Brennick the whole time, I said, yeah, bro. I said, I have no reason to like go hard. Cause he kept telling me, just go, man. He's like, you're in like better running shape than she's like, just go. And I'm like, bro, I'm just here to get a workout in, like let it be loose. Zone 2, Ironman training, whatever. And then I see Austin, he's loud, he's shouting. And then he's like, you ever ran a sub 4 before? And I'm like, no. I was like, y'all running the full? And then he's like, yeah, come on. And so we're running. And then I was like, do you think they'll let me run a full if I'm only signed up for a half? And then Lauren was the one that like solidified it. Shout out to Lauren. She's a beast. She was like, well, you might as well just run the full. I don't think they're going to tell you anything. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And then that was that. This was like at mile 10-ish, 12-ish, right before like 13. So yeah, mid-race, I was just like, yeah, I'm running a full marathon. And it was the statistics, I think it was a 4:15. But it was the longest half marathon, I think. Virtually, yeah. It was the longest half marathon out of anybody, I feel like. I don't know if I got last place or not, but yeah.
That's incredible.
Crazy. But that goes to show, like, kind of what Jack was saying, like, literally because of people, Like, was it the most healthiest thing to do? Probably not, but I don't care because we're savages, right?
Yeah.
That's the theme of the weekend.
Yeah. So we talk about the weekend and stuff. What shocked? Is there anything that like shocked you guys that that maybe you didn't think? Obviously, everyone being great people, but my thing was like, and Jack did touch on this, but just how nice everybody was. Like, you could be a good person and just not be like nice. Like, people were so nice. That blew my mind.
A little bit of a funny story about this. So I met up with Lewis yesterday because he's in New York for work. So like it was like an hour each way drive just because he's by himself for a couple weeks, and it was cool to connect with him again. He told me, like, I guess I give off the vibe on like Instagram and like I'm a little bit more serious than I am in person. And he's like, yeah, we were kind of a little worried you're gonna be a dick. And he's like, you're actually really nice. So I'm like, awesome, man. I appreciate that.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Because like, especially, and Brennick knows this, I told him like 1,000 times, like, most people, like if you go to like an Alpha Land or any kind of like crazy, like prolific gym or workout spot, it's like people have their tripods and they're like, don't get in my shot, like, stuff like that. And day one, people were like recording other people, and I was just like, where do you see that? That was crazy.
Yeah, that's one thing that shocked me, honestly, was just like you said, how nice people were. And coming from I feel like we all come from a place where we're like the only ones who are filming things and coming from like gyms where we're maybe only the ones with the camera out or a tripod set up. And so when you're all in that one spot together, like everyone's kind of having that same experiences, and then you're all in the same place with your camera and your tripods and everything. And just hearing from people say, oh, like if you need me to film something, I'll go ahead and record you. Like no shot, like no worries. Like I felt so weird asking when it was just so normalized there. And then coming back home, it's like, okay, now I'm like, secretly recording or something like that. So just to everyone having the same headspace of like wanting to help others and just being so generous and nice to offer any help that they can. That was really, really cool and something that shocked me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like people are just so willing to help and so kind. So
I know. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I agree with all those things you guys said. What shocked you, because that shocked me too. But honestly, what shocked me the most was working out in the same building as Nick Bear. Like
Yeah.
I've been following this fool for a while, and I'm like, yo, we're in the same building, working out right next to him. And I was taking content, I was making content of it. And I'm like, that was a crazy ass weekend, just to say that.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Nick, man. Obviously, stand up, dude. I remember moments were just like, just be normal, bro. Be normal. And then
Part was how down to earth he was. Like on Wednesday, I had like a 45-minute conversation with him because we ended up talking about like bodybuilding preps and like how I've been through a couple, and like he was like receptive to like not like I wasn't giving him advice, but like to what I like my experience and like taking it in, and we were talking back and forth like equals, and it was just so crazy. Like I like you guys, I've been following him since before he like went to North Korea, so like
yeah,
I've been following him since like I started my fitness journey, so it's crazy.
yeah. I was gonna say too. I told this a lot to a lot of people, as many people as I could throughout the whole weekend. But if any of y'all didn't know, I know I made it to a couple of y'all, but what people didn't see, just to give more kudos to my boy Brennan. They saw the videos and how cool they looked and stuff like that, but staying with him, they didn't see, the late hours and the actual time that man put in, staying up till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, just to make those videos. So I want to give my boy kudos. So the people listening could hear that, because everyone didn't get to see it the way I saw it. It was in front of me, and it's like, it just even then, like it made me want to step my game up.
I'll hop on that too, because that dude, after all of his edits, and I was only in a couple seconds of each one, was like, he was nice enough to send me the separate clips so that I could have them too. Like that's a lot.
Appreciate you guys for
Brennan's
sure.
the man, dude. You're very talented.
Legend.
Now we're going to Utah.
Hey, you want to come out to LA, Brennan?
I will. Hell
Maybe.
yeah.
Wait, you're in Las Vegas, you just said, this upcoming week. That's where I fly in.
I fly in tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
You're all week, or there all week?
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll keep on winning, and then championship games on Sunday. So it's win or go home mentality.
I might be seeing you. Just saying.
Wait, when are you gonna be there?
I'm flying in on Friday.
Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, and by the way, Cam, I was gonna say I'll be in LA in June. I don't know which day, but it'll be like the middle of June.
Okay. Yeah, that's just hit me up, dude. We can stay at my place. We can link up and and that's what's so cool about this community is like I feel like everyone's comes from different places and different parts of the country. And I mean, I feel like whenever someone's traveling or in a new state or city and there's a BPN person there, everyone's like, welcome arms, come on in, come home.
Yeah. This is gonna come super, go ahead, you go.
Go ahead, Joe. Jack.
This is gonna come super in handy for me because in June I'm doing my like cross country fitness road trip where I'm doing a bunch of different competitions. So I'm gonna like see where everybody is, and I'm just gonna like.
That's so rad.
Yeah, speaking of like the whole family thing, and this is before I even met the man. It just goes to show like I am gonna be on my own chest just for a little bit. But whenever Brennan got to the hotel before I did, and because I was driving and he flew in. So I was getting ready to like get Chick-fil-A, and I was tired. I was dog tired because I had worked that day. And I hit him up and I'm like, hey bro, do you want anything from Chick-fil-A? And if y'all don't know anything about Brennick, he eats like a damn horse. He was like, yeah, bro, can I get like 5 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, 2 salads? Not really. He asked for 3, but I was like, yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
Love it. Love it.
But yeah, and then like walking into like our hotel and just like, dude, I don't even think I put my stuff down, and I don't even think like, dude, I needed to shower. I was tired. I don't even think like I moved from our conversation for like 20. I think we talked for about 20 minutes before either of us did anything.
Bro,
you know?
like right when you got in, I think we talked for about 30 minutes. And I was like, all right, cool. This was cool. So because at first, like, you never know when you're rooming with somebody you don't know at all. It's like, all right, it's kind of sketchy, but you just want to feel the vibes. It was like instant, like it was perfect. So
yeah, for sure, man. Basically summed up the weekend. Does anybody have any stories that they want to share that maybe didn't get elaborated throughout the weekend, in case anybody listening gets to see this, or that does see this, that comes to mind?
Pressure's on now. Somebody say something.
I know. I need to play that. What is it? The Jeopardy. The ding ding ding.
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I think just like in little ways too. Like this isn't a story, but I made that reel a couple days ago about the stretching thing. It's just like, dude, I told myself this year, like, dude, I'm taking it serious. I obviously like stretch, but I don't do it as often as I should. And then doing that Pilates, and shout out to Abby, like I messaged her person. I said, hey, thank you. Cause I was already like working towards that goal, but nobody likes stretching. So like that only like amplified me, just like to be hyped about something that is so monotonous and boring. I think for me, and I think a lot of us, it's easy to fight through stuff that's like an actual fight. You're lifting something heavy, you're running hard, or whatever the case may be. Like it's easier to fight that. But the things that maybe aren't as like physically brutal, it's hard to fight through those things, I feel like.
For me, my another takeaway for the weekend was like some growth as a person, because I'm a terrible loser. I'm a sore loser. I hate like coming up short on goals and stuff like that. I know Cam feels me. She's giving me that look. And the 34 seconds, it would have broke me as like a younger guy. It would have broke me. I shit you not. Even all the things, like considering like all the things we did, but the weekend itself was just so pure and so great. I could not leave like upset about anything.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, Jack, just to go on to that, I feel you on that, brother, because when I came in second place on those push-ups, I would have been in tears if I wasn't, like just the fact that I had lost to got second place, and I was so dang close to getting that. But you got to take a step back, right, and realize, hey, it's just one thing, and it was just an amazing weekend, and that was just one little thing. But the competitive side in us for sure comes out, and
we could still be bad about it right now, but
yeah, I was gonna say growth for sure, because I think everyone, I don't care who you are, has certain attributes about them that just like stand out, and I think what I try to do, from not only from obviously a physical standpoint, there's some amazing specimens throughout the gym and stuff, but from a personality standpoint of looking at what one person does very well, and then like trying to emulate that into your own self, I guess. And it would happen very early, day one, with the guest speakers and stuff. Afterwards, I talked to Nick Bear for a little bit, and it was in a group. It was supposed to be one-on-one. He was like, hey, I gotta go. And I ended up talking to him, and nobody was really saying anything. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll talk. And then he was talking about like, going to retail and like how, doing pitches for companies and stuff, and how networking is a skill. And I asked him, how has he got better over time with that? And he talked about like, less is more, and how there's a lot of power in the pauses and all this stuff. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, like, you can shut the hell up now, Nick. Like for myself, I was like, stop talking, because I felt like I was over talking, and it was like from the jump. So then that whole weekend, I was like, you know what, less talking and just more listening and looking at all these great people do what they do. And it just those personality growths and those like quality traits just kept growing. And I still take a lot of that stuff with me that I learned from you guys.
You know who had a really good post the one day? Mitch. He posted about how every time like someone would try to compliment like somebody else or like talk about them, the other person would deflect it and be not like in like, oh, don't talk about me, but like put it on them, say how great or what they enjoy about that person. And I was like, that was the case. That was like every conversation I had with someone. I would be like, yo, Cam, I love your shit. I love everything about the USC basketball. You're savage. And then she would deflect it back to me. And then it was gas for, 20 minutes. And you're like, all right, we need to stop. We're
yeah, we're like
It's
a
just a giant
revolving
hype
door.
up weekend. Like
It
everyone was
was.
so beautiful and kind and like supportive of each other. It was so good.
Yeah, and another thing too is like just how sad I was leaving, just like in the airport coming back, flying back to California. I posted about this, but like as soon as my plane took off, I just like the tears were just coming down my face, and it just was a very raw and real moment because like not more so sad about the weekend being over, but just like sad that I'm leaving all these incredible people that had become family so quickly. And I had a really, really nice talk with Grace when I got back, and I think everyone was very sad about that weekend being over. But if there's one thing that she told me to try to do and take away from that whole thing was, we were around a bunch of like-minded individuals the entire weekend, and everyone's going back to their place, their city. And if we can all bring that same mindset and energy that we created this past weekend and bring that into our own communities and create that with where we live now, I mean, BPN's gonna take over the damn world. Like it's just unreal that the energy that was created and how inspired we should all be to now make that and put that to where we live and lead in our communities and show our actions with the go and more mindset, and just try to create that where we live. So I think that was like something that opened my eyes, like, yeah, wow, like I'm sad it's over, but I'm just fired up to now bring that back to where I live and just continue to lead, inspire, and motivate those around me. So
Yeah, for sure. I definitely didn't have a sad it's over. I mean, I did, but I was definitely on the mindset camp similar where it was like, dude, this is fuel. You know what I mean? Like these people are out here, so selfless. And I think Jack mentioned it in one of the group chats. It's just like, dude, like there's parents out here, full-time parents, full-time jobs, and they're still getting after it. There's people that work 13 hours a day, wake up 3:30 in the morning, still getting after it. And I think
legend.
and I think when it all ended, what was going through my mind is, okay, how can I make this tangible? Because it was tangible while it was happening, right? Obviously, everyone's there. And formulating this, like Cam said, into our community and stuff, like how do I make this tangible to spread out there? And then I keep going back to, what Austin told us. I said, just be you, improve on what you can. If you want to make better content, improve on that. If you want to run faster, improve on that. If you want to be stronger, improve on that. But just be you. Because I feel like everyone, looking back on the weekend, if one person wouldn't have been there, like knowing what we know now, I don't think it would have been the same.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about the culture, I feel like.
Me and Amanda were talking about this the other day. It's like when I was younger, it was like this kind of a guy thing. Unfortunately, it's just like it's not cool to be nice or just be like yourself all the time. It's always about the front, like how cool you look and
masculine,
stuff like
yeah.
But it's cool to be nice to people and be a good person. It's crazy. And we all agreed on it.
And there wasn't like a conversation about it. It was just, we all are, this is who we are and this is how we show up. And the fact that BPN and Nick and Kat, they were able to cultivate, and a group of people that are all this way. It's talk about community and like being a part of like a community that's so like-minded and beautiful. Like I'm so happy to just, oh, I love you guys.
And but before we get to closing remarks, Brennick, you were actually like, I remember day one, I remember you telling me, it's like, dude, I need to be like a little bit more open. And I was like, dude, I was like, knowing that I know you, like at least the day before everyone else got to meet you, I said, bro, all you gotta do is just be you. And then look how it turned out.
Yeah, that's facts. And I think what helped a lot with that, because honestly, like I'm an introvert. Like I'll talk to people, but they have to come up and talk to me first. Like I won't go out and talk to somebody, but I can still hold a conversation and stuff. But I think what helped the most was there was absolutely no judgment in that whole entire building. Like I didn't feel judged, and I'm sure like none of you guys felt judged or anything. And it was all just the whole building was full of like-minded people that just want to be good and be great and be nice and just be freaking awesome. And that's exactly what it was.
I love that. So in closing remarks, what I want to do, I want to go down the line, and I want everyone just to leave a little message, you know, for the people listening. It could be whatever you think. It could be a joke. It could be inspirational. It could be something cool. Just leave a little nugget for the people out there. So we're gonna go down the list. Obviously, start with you, Jack.
All right, I got something. So ego is the enemy of progression. Whenever you have an ego and you're not willing to learn and talk to others, you are literally putting a limiting factor on anything you can accomplish. So be open to talking to people, be open to listening to people. There's advice from everyone that you can learn something. So
I love that. All right, Cam, talk to me.
All right, man. I just want to say, do what makes you happy. Screw what everyone says. Don't fear judgment. Just do you, and like just crush it, and just that's that's really all I got. Life's too short to think fear what people would think about you, and just to do you and do what makes you happy. That's all that matters.
Brennick.
So I'm gonna keep it short and simple. And me and Nick kept saying this the whole entire weekend is everything happens for a reason.
Stole mine.
Oh,
No, I have a similar one.
like-minded people, we thinking the same.
Yeah, that's telepathy going on. Amanda, talk to me.
I was very similar. Just you're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be. So don't sweat the small stuff. You know, I didn't think I was gonna be in Austin this past weekend, and it changed my life. So glad I was.
I love that. This is kind of like my saying. I have it tattooed across my chest. It's my first tattoo.
let's see it.
Oh, it says trust your struggle. So that's what we're going with, guys. Trust your struggle. I never even wanted to get tattoos, and then I joined the military, and then peer pressure. You know, I'm just playing. I'm playing. But no, it did. So it's something that's always meant something to me. And a lot of times people think like trust your struggle, like the big things, right? But no, the small things. I was so worried about, hey, can I make it to this ambassador weekend? I'm waiting on, just approval. And I finally get in. I'm like, okay, where am I gonna stay? Like, I'm trying to save money, blah, 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 all this stuff. And when you trust your struggle, just like Amanda, just like Brennick said, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to. And here we are, guys. And I cannot thank you enough. This is obviously not going to be the last podcast. There'll be more to come. And if y'all ever have one of y'all's own, please feel free to add me as a guest, because I love you guys. You're the best. Yeah. And we weren't able to have obviously the GOAT Luke on. Man, love that man. And Jess obviously couldn't be here either, but we will have them on next time. And I want to thank all you guys again for your time. I know you guys stay busy, stay active. So just taking an hour out of your day really means a lot.
Hell yeah, brother. Much
Thanks
love.
for having us.
Thank
Yes,
you for having
sir.
us.
Yeah, thanks for having us for sure.
Y'all are the best. All right, then, guys, that concludes one of the best episodes I think I have done thus so far with some of the greatest people I've had the pleasure of meeting. And there's only more to come. So until next time, thank you guys. Y'all have a good night.